Uh,
Oh,
I'll tell you in a little bit, Patrick.
Like 2 weeks,
No,
Charles.
sorry. We're live now. Welcome to the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. I am Charles Taylor, and you saw Patrick Rackett with me. So, where we're
Already
going to start, Patrick. Well, Patrick was trying to ask me where we're going to start, and we will start with
baseball.
the Major League playoffs. So, on top of the Major League Baseball playoffs, of course, we'll talk about college football and the NFL. And like we promised, we will give you our picks for the NHL and who we think will be the two teams in the Stanley Cup final. But first, Patrick, let's start with the Major League Baseball playoffs. So what we have here in the American League, we have the Cleveland Indians shutting down the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, the Blue Jays, of course, they did win today, 5-1 to make it a 3-1 series. Game 5 will be Wednesday in Toronto. But what are your takeaways on how that series goes? How that series is going right now? I know you picked Cleveland to win, but did you see them shutting down the lineup like this?
I do. This is exactly what I meant when I said if Cleveland's pitching shows up the way it has been showing up all season, it shows up in this series like this. Yes, I see this. Now I will go back and I say I didn't expect Cleveland to make it this far. By no means. I thought Boston and Texas were going to be fighting it out in this game, not Cleveland and Toronto. But I mean, if Cleveland's pitching, and I even said this several webcasts ago, I was impressed with their pitching, and their pitching is showing up. And as long as it shows up, man, Charles, you've said it many times, good pitching will outdo good hitting. It's just the way it is, and Cleveland's pitching has showed up.
And of course, I'm the one who picked Toronto, so apparently I wasn't following my own advice on that one. If everything stays,
that's your fault. That's your fault.
It definitely is, and I'll take responsibility for that. But yes, good pitching will shut down good hitting, and this is a classic example of this. Now, although the series is not over yet, I'm going to ride with the Toronto pick, as you know. And, I mean, you would do the same thing. If you make a pick, you're going to ride with it until it's proven wrong or proven right, whichever one happens. But this is your classic case of the pitching silencing the hitting. And you're just seeing a steady diet of breaking balls, curveballs, not too many things being left over the plate. Now, today, Toronto finally got something going against Cleveland's pitching. I tend to think that was because of what happened yesterday with Bauer. So did you see his finger?
I didn't get to see his finger.
All right. Well, he was supposed to pitch in game 2.
Right.
But I guess he had a accident messing with the drone. Cut his finger, they put some stitches on, and they backed him up to game 3. Well, in the first inning, he's pitching, and those stitches did not heal up, and his finger was dripping blood. It was actually pretty nasty. But I mean,
stitches are not going to be delayed by one game. I mean, I didn't see his finger. I knew that he had he cut it on a drone, like one of the whatever he cut it on. I knew that he did that, and then I knew that he had stitches. I think they said I had 4 stitches or 6 stitches or whatever it was, and then they said that he was going to start game 3, and I was like, well, I mean, look, growing up when I was a kid, dude, my dad did this. My dad told me this is what he did. I cut my finger. I cut this one right here. I got a big old scar on it, and I cut it, and I had to go in and I had to catch. And my dad put stitches on that thing and then super glue. It didn't come apart, dude. And I was like, I don't know if I could throw with super glue on my finger. And he's like, well, you'll throw with super glue on that finger because you're gonna have to go. So I mean, I remember. I mean, one day, 2 days is not going to heal a stitch. You're going to have to either throw some super glue on that thing or give it 3 or 4 more days, and then you can go and pitch. This is dumb. I mean, stitches ain't going to hold on for that. It's just a piece of string.
That's that. That's that old school stuff. Super glue, some duct tape.
Super glue and some duct tape on your womb, and you're good, man. MacGyver that stuff, man. Jeez.
Well, so his finger though, Patrick, dripping blood. It was gross. It was nasty, and they took him out first inning. So Terry Francona, of course, had to just pretty much make everybody available from the bullpen. And so with all those arms getting used, I think Cleveland used 5 or 6 pitchers Monday night.
5.
So yeah, so using all those pitchers, you come in here today, short day of rest. Maybe the pitchers were a little bit, and their arms were a little bit worn down or whatnot. And this might be the time for Toronto to start making. Well, okay, they don't have a choice. I mean, they have to make their run or they're going home. But
yep.
This could be what Toronto needs, or it could be a break. Toronto has to try to take advantage of this. If you have some fatigued arms in the rotation, maybe those pitches that were hitting their location, they won't be hitting their location. Maybe it's an inch off, and then you can see Toronto start to tee off again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Game 5 and beyond if it goes to that point. Well, Patrick, what about the National League?
Well, this one's a surprise for me. I mean, as we're talking right now, the Dodgers are up 4-0 in the top of the 8th. All right, look, I look at it like this. One of two things. Well, one thing, I don't count the Cubs out until the last out of the bottom of the 9th inning or top of the 8th, 9th inning, whatever it is. I don't count the Cubs out. So to me, I'm sitting here looking, they got 2 outs. I'm sitting here looking, man, they still got 4 outs to make 4 runs. That's a run per out. They can do it. That's one. And with the way Chicago's been ending their games with like walk-off home runs and walk-off triples and walk-off whatever, I ain't counting them out. But second, man, I don't know, man. Dodgers pitching is looking pretty good right now. I have to give them credit, man. I mean, they're looking really good, and it's everybody in that pitching staff. I mean, they're looking really good, and Chicago's struggling a little bit with them. I mean, I know it's a 1-1 series tie, but looking like it might possibly 2-1 Dodgers. But I'm still pretty good with the Cubs winning. I said the Cubs would win and sweep. I said a sweep. Well, I'm gonna be wrong on that one. The Cubs will win, but it's probably gonna be in like 7 now.
Well, the Dodgers again, man, same thing as the Cleveland-Toronto series. Good pitching. It's shutting down good hitting. And in this case, the Cubs are getting shut out. I mean, it's Kershaw and Jansen did the job on them in Game 2, and tonight it's been Rich Hill. And again, just steady diet, breaking balls, curve balls, not too many fastballs, and they're hitting their spots. I mean,
bottom's dropping out of them curveballs, man. Looks insane, dude. I watched one drop from the numbers to the ankles, dude. Earlier, dude, I was like,
wow. And you know what? And this look, man, the Dodgers, they're a different team. All right. I told my dad this. I think Clayton Kershaw getting hurt, having a back injury, what I think that was a blessing in disguise. You never want to see anybody get hurt. But I do think the Dodgers were relying too much on him. And so when he got hurt, the rest of the people started to step their games up. We have to remember the Los Angeles Dodgers have the highest payroll in the majors. So to pay that much for a payroll, there's some players on there who should be able to do some stuff.
Can't rely on one person when your payroll is $214 million in 1 year.
Exactly. So I think with Kershaw going down, those other players stepped up. Adrian Gonzalez, Scott Peterson, some of the other pitchers on there, Rich Hill, Jansen, who else? I mean, who else? The Seager, all those guys, Turner, Reddick, whoever. Even Puig is getting a little bit of run. So I mean,
even Puig.
So what I like about the Dodgers, though, Patrick, is that they are grinding. They're grinding out wins, and this is something we could not have said about the Dodgers in the past.
You couldn't say that about the Dodgers earlier this year.
Right. I mean, every time they were in a series, you would say, yeah, they have more talent than the other team, but are they going to grind? Mm-hmm. And they couldn't, and then they would lose. This Dodgers team is grinding, and if the Cubs are going to take them out, they're going to have to work.
Remember, come out ready to play some ball in Game 4. I can tell you that.
Yes, so it'll be interesting.
But I'm still waiting on the typical Dodgers team. There's times where the Dodgers will show up and they just play absolutely fantastic ball. But then there's times when they just, they come out and they'll beat the Cubs in 3 games, but then they'll lose to the Braves in 5 straight. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Cubs better do something. They better do something, or they're not going to make a trip to the World Series. It's going to be Dodgers and Indians, and I'm going to be way pissed off because I missed that altogether. Yeah. I mean, for the past 5 seasons, at least I've named one team that went to the play or to the World Series. I ain't even getting close to being one right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, I'll miss it too. But I can tell you this, Patrick. I think that ship is sailed. I don't think that Dodgers team is showing up. I think this Dodgers team is going to work. So the Cubs might beat them, but the Dodgers are going to bring it, and the Cubs are going to have to bring it. It's not going to be one of those things where the Dodgers will just show up and then just
fall off.
Yeah, just fall on their face. I don't see that, man.
I hope not, because it makes for good baseball. I mean, for me, Braves have been out of it since Game 1 of the regular season. So now it's just me just getting to enjoy baseball right now. And Dodgers in the Cubs series, man, it's a good series, dude. It's a really good series, and I'm enjoying the games and watching them and stuff. So I hope Dodgers bring it. I still think the Cubs will win, but I hope the Dodgers bring it and they force a Game 7. That just makes it for good baseball.
All right.
Hell, let's even go into 20 innings. You know what I say after 9 innings, Charles? That's free baseball. Woo!
Right. Yeah, another game of free baseball. I hear you. Well, Patrick, let's move on to to college. What were your takeaways from this weekend or last weekend's action?
Last weekend, what was the game? Did I say UNC was going to upset Miami? Did I say that was an upset alert? Was that the upset alert I had?
I think so.
What was my upset alert? Also was like, Georgia? Yeah, Georgia. My takeaways was this, man.
Yeah, Georgia's a mess, but yeah.
Georgia's a mess, dude.
Yeah, I look very good on that pick.
You're not looking good at all. You're looking about as good as Texas pick.
Look, I'm looking pretty terrible, actually. So let's just go ahead and put it out.
Yeah, we'll call it what it is. Number 1 takeaway, dog. I'm going to put it out there. Not like we didn't know already, but I'm going to put it out there, man. Alabama's legit. That team is not going to be beat. I don't care who they play. I don't care who they play. Tennessee, everybody's like, well, Tennessee didn't play good football. I'm beg to differ. I thought they played good football. It's just Alabama's that much better. And people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but Tennessee didn't do what they normally do in all the games. They didn't turn over the ball that much. They had a few, but that was because one was an interception. I think one was a fumble. So they had two. At least when Georgia played, they played, who was it? Texas A&M had 7 turnovers and still kept the game close. They had 2 in this one, and it was a runaway. I don't care what people say. Tennessee played good football. Alabama's just that much better.
Well, the difference is if you do turn the ball over against Alabama, Alabama is making you pay. Immediately. That interception was housed.
Oh yeah.
That was taken to the house. And then Alabama had a special teams touchdown. I think they ran a punt return back for a touchdown and another big run. And then the rest was just Jalen Hurts and other dudes just running up and down on them. So Tennessee, look, everybody was talking about how good Tennessee was and how hyped up they were, but they need a little bit of work. I'm just saying they need just a little bit more work before we want to go and put them up for national championship talk. It's just, are they coming? Yes, they have a nice roster. They're getting good recruiting classes in, but to put them there now with a team like Alabama, no. Now, granted, they might get another shot at Alabama in the SEC championship game. I don't know. I mean, but now Tennessee does not have their destiny in their own hands. That now belongs to Florida.
Yep.
So we'll see how Florida does.
I mean, I don't think they have much to worry about. I think Florida will take another loss. At least one. Tennessee's just got to make sure they take care of business, and business is for them to win out. Florida next week has, or not this coming Sunday or Saturday, but the next Saturday they have Georgia, and I don't care who's coaching that game or who's playing that game. It's always a fight to the bitter end. I mean, it always is. Now, there's a few games that have been a runaway every now and then between Florida and Georgia, but, for the most part, it's always been a fight. And then Florida still has Florida State, dude. I mean, I don't think Florida State is.
Yeah, but Florida State's out of conference.
Yeah, but true. Yeah, that's a good point. Who else do they have? They got Texas A&M left.
No, they have LSU left, and the game with Georgia, and then the rest of the teams in the East. I think because Florida is.
They got Kentucky.
Yeah, they won Kentucky earlier this year.
Oh, shit. Well, who was it?
Yeah, they destroyed Kentucky, man. They'll have a game with South Carolina. I forget Arkansas. They play Arkansas.
Oh, well, there could be a possible loss right there.
So they still have LSU and Arkansas on the schedule. The LSU game, of course, got moved, and now that game will be in Baton Rouge instead of it being in Gainesville. So
they have Georgia, Arkansas, South Carolina, LSU, and those. I mean, Arkansas and LSU, man. I mean, LSU is not looking good, but they look better in Florida most of the time. So, I mean, anyway, back on the Alabama Tennessee, man, I thought Tennessee played very well, and in Tennessee again, they have to win out, they have to win theirs, and then hope Florida takes that loss. Second takeaway, Ohio State and Wisconsin, man, that was a good game, man. Going into overtime like that. Good call on the Ohio State. I thought Wisconsin would pull that out, but hey, Wisconsin gave them a battle though. They battled.
You knew they would.
Hard. Huh?
You knew they would.
Oh yeah, I knew they would. I figured they would. I figured they could put up enough points to win, but apparently they couldn't. I guess that special teams play that Ohio State had.
Hey, they put up more points than I thought. Wisconsin put up more points than I thought, Patrick. I mean, I thought I said 2017 would be the final score.
Oh, they didn't put up as many as I thought they would. I said 24, 23 losers. But
1 point off. Oh well, hey, sorry, man. Yeah. I think Wisconsin had enough, man. I mean, I just think they were going to. I just thought Ohio State was just a little bit better, man, and that's why I said being at home definitely gave them a little bit of a push. But I just kind of felt like Ohio State just had just a little bit too much talent.
Yeah, well, it was a good call, man. Like I said, you called that one right. Too bad you didn't call it the Georgia game or Georgia right, but hey, we'll let it go. I didn't call Texas right either, so. Yep. But yeah, Wisconsin gave them a battle. It was a good game. So. Good call though.
NC State and Clemson, man. I said upset alert. I said upset alert, and I you know what? NC State should have won. They should have won this game. They had the field goal. Kickers.
Kickers.
We're
dude.
not going to get into the analogies today, Patrick. Nope.
I don't want to say anything, but man, kickers. Dude, it's happening everywhere, dude. They ain't a kicker. Dude, they might as well go to Australia and get them a kicker. Everybody go to Australia and get you a kicker. Stop playing with these American kickers. They suck.
I mean, 1 of 4 from field goals. And I mean, he had one 17-17 tie. He's in the middle of the field. And he shanked it.
Middle of the field, 32-yard field goal, and he shanked it. The one he hits is the furthest one he has, 48-yard field goal. Then he had a 32 that he missed, a 24 that he missed, and then a 36 that he missed. But you're going to hit the 48. Go to Australia. Get you a kicker. All y'all teams, go to Australia, get you a kicker. All these American kickers, put them on the side. Either that or teach wide receiver how to kick. I mean, that might as well what you do. Don't waste a spot on your roster for a kicker. They can't even kick.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's why kickers get so much flack, man, because it's like all you do is kick. You don't even play every day. You go in there, you just kick, and you can't even do that.
You can't do that. What's the point? What, you want me to waste a scholarship on you? You suck. Waste no scholarship on a kicker. Matter of fact, you got to pay me for you to play.
Oh boy,
Give me a scholarship, and I might let you play.
Well, Patrick, let's move on to the NFL. And
Are we not going to talk about what's coming up in the NFL?
No, man, that's the next one on Thursday.
Oh, that's Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, right. we'll do on Thursday. Today's the review show.
All right.
It's all right, Patrick. It's all right. But I hear you, man. I understand. Right. I know we've been doing like one show a week. I get it, man. No, we try to make it.
Off, man. That's all. We got it. We go. We good.
All right. Well, what was your takeaways for the NFL?
I have a couple. As a matter of fact, I have 3. Make sure. Yeah, 3. Let me check. 4. I got 4 takeaways. All right. I'm going to start off with Atlanta Falcons. Playing Seattle, in Seattle. I'm impressed with the way Falcons came out in the second half, throwing up those 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. But I'm disappointed in the way they played in the fourth quarter. And we talked about this. We talked about this game, dude. If Atlanta's going to make a statement in the NFL, they need to do it. I think a statement was made, but I don't think the right statement was made. I think the statement that we were looking for Atlanta to say is, we are ready for Super Bowl talk. Basically, what we got out of them is we're ready to see if we can even possibly make it out of the first round talk again. Seattle's defense is ranked number 1. I don't know why yet, but it's ranked number 1. And Atlanta's offense was ranked number 1. And I mean, Charles, I know we always say good defense stops great offense, and basically that works in almost every sport, right? But Atlanta has to find a way to win that game. They have to. They're on the road. They're playing in Seattle. They're looking at what possibly could be a 5-1 start for them, and they blew the lead. They had it. They had the lead. They were winning, and they blew the lead. You gotta find a way to win that game. You got to. And I think it starts with. I think it starts with the coach, man. Dan's got to do something, dude. He's got to do something, and he ain't doing it.
Well, Patrick, you know what? I don't think this game is Dan Quinn's fault. I don't, and here's why. They had the 24-17 lead. Seattle scored a touchdown, and they blocked the extra point. where he could have sat on the lead and said, you know what, we're just going to run the football. We're going to try to run the clock out. He did not do that. He came out and he threw. Matt Ryan threw the ball. Julio Jones, as good as he played, he let one slip through his hands and it got intercepted. The throw where it got picked off, man, Matt Ryan put the ball where it needed to be. If you're an elite receiver like Julio Jones is supposed to be, you got to make that catch. That's on the players, man. And I mean, I think Dan Quinn had the right approach to it, man. I just think the players did not make the plays when they really had to have them. That right there, that one I could deal with because
Charles, he threw 42 times.
But you would think Julio Jones would make that catch. You know what I mean? So that's not on a coach, Patrick. That's not a bad play call.
But to me, but Charles, you have to think about it. Look, but it is. You have 60 plays and you only get the ball.
Is that a bad play call or a little lack of execution? To me, that's a little lack of execution.
Probably a little bit of both. They threw the ball 42 times and ran the ball 18.
Yeah, look, yeah, you could use some more balance. Yes, I agree with you there. But Patrick, they still should have won. So
they should have.
You can make those corrections.
If you're going to establish yourself as one of these elite teams, you better bring about better balanced offense. And to me, that starts with the coach. Throwing 42 times, Charles, you said this how many times about Tony Romo? You throw the ball 45, 50 times, you got to expect at least one mistake. Well, guess what? 41 times, he went errorless. It's the 42nd time he threw the ball that he throws an interception. That's where I have the problem.
It's true, but Patrick, even still, in this particular case, though, and yes, you were right. I do say that about the balance. Yes, you got to have some good balance there. I will say this, though. Atlanta's identity is to throw the ball. That is their identity. That's the thing. And so if it's one thing if that's not your identity. For Atlanta, that has changed. They want to throw the football. That is what they do. The running game with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, that is a compliment to it. Is the balance a little bit better? Yes, the balance is a little bit better. But if they're going to go down, you know Atlanta's going to go down with Matt Ryan throwing the football. So that's why I can deal with that a little bit more, because that's Atlanta's identity now.
Yeah, but at the same time, Charles, at the same time, was Julio Jones, was he double covered on that one play?
No, he had the dude beat. And Earl Thomas ran into the zone and picked it off the deflection off of Julio Jones's hands. It was a quick slant.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right. He wasn't double covered. He did have him beat. Okay. Well, yeah. And well, okay, true. There is a lot of lack of
execution. To me, that's a lack of execution. That's not a play call. To me, see, here's the thing, Patrick. A bad play call is when it's a 4th and 2, and you decide to run a toss sweep. Something like that. That's a bad play call. That wasn't a bad play call. That was your playmakers not making the plays. And you expect those guys, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, money players. If you're the Atlanta Falcons, these are your money dudes. These are the dudes that you're going to go down with. You expect them to make that play. Julio Jones didn't make that play. It hit his hands. And if he's an elite receiver, Patrick, he's got to make that play.
I agree with you on that play. That's right. I remember now that because I remember throwing my remote. And yeah, that particular play is a lack of execution. But Atlanta still, I mean, I understand that their identity is starting to be the pass. I get that. But when you got Devontae Freeman and Coleman that much money, you might want to give them more than 17 touches combined.
17. They still have to win that game, Patrick. You're right. I mean,
they do. And if you're going to make the statement that you're wanting to make as a 4-1 team who actually pretty much a lot of people had already counted you out because of the bonehead moves that they had made. A lot of people counted them out. And if you're gonna make if you're trying to do that, then you better send the right message. And honestly, to me, I just with that game, they're not sending the right message. I think that they're sending a message that yeah, we're here to play in the regular season, but when the playoff time comes around, we'll bend over for you.
I I look, I know you are a long-suffering Falcons fan, Patrick, but if I'm you, I it's a loss. Yes, it's a game they should have won probably, but I'm I'm optimistic. If I'm a Falcons fan, I'm optimistic about this because
well, it's who's in their division.
Well, they can grow from this
right now.
they can grow from this. That's the thing. Like even though it didn't happen in this game, they can grow from this. They can learn from this game, and they can say, you know what? All right, look, we're a couple of plays away. If we make this catch, if we make that catch, or if we make a stop here or stop there, it's a completely different thing. You can grow from that. That's not one of those, oh man, I'm so far away that there's nothing I can do. And I would be optimistic. And I know you're not the most optimistic person, but
not with my team. Not with my team. They better come to play. Plus, you know how I feel about Matt Ryan anyway. So anyway, enough about them. My second takeaway, dude. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have Buffalo is a legit team, dog. They're mashing the gas pedal, dude, and they ain't letting up. 45-16 against San Francisco, and biggest problem, man. San Francisco got no defense, bro.
Yeah, we're a horrible team. Sorry. 49ers are terrible, all right? And this hurts me because this is my team. We can't stop anybody. All right, we can't stop the run. We can't stop the pass. We can't stop anybody. It's just bad.
Special teams.
It's time to clean house.
You can't even stop the Gatorade boy from anything, dog. You can't stop anything. Y'all can put up a line saying, "Hey, Gatorade boy, you ain't getting no more Gatorade." That motherfucker. But guess what I got? Well, you got Gatorade. I get Gatorade. That's how I do.
LaShawn McCoy is still running.
He is still running like he Forrest Gumping y'all right now. He just want to run all the way to California and then back. Wait, hold on. Where are they at? They're in Buffalo. They're gonna run to New York and back, and then California, and then Canada. He's just running everywhere. He's just gonna run everywhere on y'all.
Sore subject, Patrick. What's next?
Yeah, we move on.
I had to move on, man. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Sorry, dude.
What was the other one? I'm trying to find it. Oh, Carolina, New Orleans.
Oh gosh. Talking about nobody can't stop anybody. God, what has happened to Carolina's team?
Dude, I don't know. And this is what was amazing to me. It was 31-0. 31-0, and Cam Newton came back and tied the game. What?
No, it was 21-0. 21-0. Carolina scored.
Okay. 21.
But still bad. Still bad. But.
Well, they didn't finally tie the game up until it was like 34-0, 31-0, whatever it was. Or it was like 31-31.
Like 38-38.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Look, those teams can't stop anybody. I would have to say both of those teams are worse than San Francisco right now.
No, we're worse.
Are you sure? Dude,
I think we're pretty bad, dude.
Dude, they scored 79 points in regulation combined. There's no overtime. Like when you hear the NFL, they're like, yeah, it was 26-24. Seattle. What was that? Hey, what was that Carolina New Orleans game? 41-38. Oh, well, they must win in overtime like 7 times. No, that was regulation. Their defenses are suck, dude. Their offenses can't be that good. I mean, but look, what happened to Carolina? I mean, that's my question. Like, what happened to Carolina?
They've lost their identity, man. I think this is a team that is. I've heard of Super Bowl hangovers, and a lot of people want to try to attribute their slump to that. But this is an identity problem.
Dog.
They can't stop the run. Their front seven was supposed to be very dominant, and it's not. It's getting shredded.
No, this is Super Bowl jet lag. They didn't even show. They're still sleeping, bro. Last year, they're still sleeping. Last year, right now. Dude, they're 1-5. 1-5. No, there's more than just a hangover or jet lag or identity problem. They need a new head coach.
and here's the thing. Another thing about that is the offense. So we were just talking about identity with the Falcons, and we know that's what they like to do is throw the ball now. Carolina, their foundation was running the football. With Cam Newton, with Jonathan Stewart, and all those guys, they ran the football well, and that set up their pass, the play-action passing game, the deep shot passing game. They're not doing that now. They're just putting Cam Newton back. Part of that is because they're falling behind quick, and Cam Newton's got to throw him back. But
he threw 47 times in that last game.
See, and that's too many. That right there is too many. Now again, they fell behind real quickly, so I can understand them throwing a little bit more when you're trying to catch up. But Patrick, Carolina was a run-first offense. They were physical on the offensive and defensive lines. That's not happening. They're putting Cam Newton back there to throw, and I know he was the league MVP last year, but he was the league MVP being that dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not happening anymore, man. That's just he's just going back there throwing. Teams are teeing off, and they are getting their shots in on him. And unless Carolina fixes that, I don't see that getting better. It's going to be worse.
Yep. I don't see it getting. I don't even see it getting even worse. I mean, it can't get worse, dude. New Orleans is not even known for their defense, and they had 4 sacks last night or Sunday.
4. You can get 4 sacks if you're throwing 80 times.
That's true. You're also going to throw 2 interceptions or more too. But I mean, Carolina's going to have to go back to what they do best, and what they do best is running, man. Cam Newton throwing 49 times, 47 times, whatever it is. I understand when you get behind, that's fine. But when you're behind 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, you still have plenty of football left. There's plenty. They scored 14 points. You know what? Settle down, get into your groove, and score you 7, score you 10. Go into the half, instead of being 24-10, be down 14-10, 17-10. Make this a realistic game. And go back to your identity, man. I mean, Carolina is going to have to run the ball. If they're not running the ball, they're not going to amount to anything. And that's kind of bad because Cam. I haven't seen Cam Newton dab yet. What's up with that?
Yeah,
that was a huge thing last year. I can't imagine that that's just going to fall to the wayside because he can't get into the freaking end zone. Just saying.
What was your last game?
That was Cowboys. Shout outs to Stan. Here's the question. I mean, it's the question going all over ESPN. It's the question going all over Bleacher Report. You name it. Roto Grinders, Fox Sports 1, CNN, you name it. What happens when Romo comes back? What do you do?
It's not even hard for me. I already told you, man. I ride with the hot hand. So if Dak Prescott is playing good, yeah, you don't want to mess that momentum up. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do that. I don't care who it is. You don't want to mess that. It's just like in basketball. If you put the bench in and the bench has a good run, You leave the starters on the bench. Sorry,
Starters
if
is
they're
gonna be
running
extra
good,
rest.
starters got to sit down. And if they and then if the bench starts to lose a little bit of luster, okay, then you bring the starters in. Nope, Tony Romo, you sit in the bullpen. And this is coming from a guy. This is coming from a guy who has been a Romo supporter. I've had Romo's back more than anybody else that I know. And right now, no, he's got to sit. He's got to sit. If he's ready, he has to sit. To me, it's not hard. I know a lot of people want to try to make this into a complicated question. It's not. It's not complicated. Dak Prescott is playing too well. They have it rolling too well right now.
Well,
you don't want to mess with that.
Well, this is what I say. You still got 4 weeks. Prescott can go through his. You still got 4 weeks. Let's wait until 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whenever Romo comes back, and let's make our decision then. The thing is that look at the New England quarterback.
Tom Brady.
No.
I was like, what?
No, the other guy. I can't think of his name.
Garoppolo.
Him. Dude, look at what he was doing. I mean, this guy was throwing. He comes out and he throws 1 touchdown in his first game. He throws 3 his second game, and then he gets injured. Right? This guy was coming on. He's coming off the bench, thinking, he's doing his job. Now, don't get me wrong. Hot hand or not, I'm going with Tom Brady. I don't care. Tom Brady's coming week 5. Tom Brady's coming back. That's where my money's at. That's where I'm putting in. I know Garoppolo's doing his thing. He can throw 15 touchdowns in 1 game. Game 4, throw 15 touchdowns, bro. Fantastic. You just helped the fantasy guy. That's good for you. Tom Brady, you're in. You can't go wrong with that. But he got injured. When I look at Prescott, I hope he does not get injured. It's not what I'm asking. It's not what I'm hoping for. But you gotta wait. Let's not talk about this a month before time is even coming up. Prescott still got 4 more starts. Let him do his thing, and then if he's hurt, easy. But if he's not and he's doing his thing, Tony Romo sits.
Yeah, but Patrick, if you're going to go ahead and throw Garoppolo in there, you can't just forget about the other 2 games that had happened when they had Jacoby Brissett in there, and then they didn't score against Buffalo. So
what I'm saying is that if he didn't get injured, and I know that's a hypothetical. I know that, but I'm saying if Garoppolo doesn't get injured and he plays those 4 games and he throws 15 touchdown passes in game 4, I don't care. Tom Brady still comes in because what Tom Brady has already achieved. Now I'm saying that, let's let Prescott do his last 4 starts before we start talking about this.
Well, it's not going to be 4 starts. See, here's the thing. Okay, look here with Brady. If you're the coach, if you're Belichick and you're saying that Brady is going to come back, then cool, stick with that. And I've said that as well. If you're a coach and you're saying, look, it doesn't matter, Tom Brady is going to be the starter or whoever the quarterback is going to be the starter when he's ready to go, cool. You stick with that, and because at least the team knows where you're coming from here. Mm-hmm. And so you can go with that. In Dallas, that's not necessarily the case. Like, I don't know, in Dallas, the Jerry Jones, Jason Garrett, that whole combo thing, they're just kind of week to week. They're really fidgety and really flaky with how they deal with things anyway. So while because they have a bye coming up this week, mm-hmm. and then either October 30th or November 6th is when he's supposed to come back. Tony Romo I'm talking about. Or that's when he's supposed to be healthy, or that's the target date. So in essence, you have maybe 1 more start for Prescott to do his thing, and then you can have this talk. To me, if this is going to be a big debate, because I agree with you in terms of like, look, let's see what happens when he's ready to return. I get that. But if this is going to be a big debate, no, dude, Romo, bullpen, dog, bullpen. You sit there.
I totally agree with you there. I mean, if Prescott's coming out, dude, I mean, look, Prescott's leading this team 5-1. I mean, personally, I have not been a Tony Romo supporter. I don't know if Dallas would be 5-1 with Tony Romo. I think they'd probably be like 3-3 or 4-2. But with Prescott, They're 5-1, and they're doing their thing. So I agree with you. If everything goes the way it should, Prescott makes it uninjured, and he still got the hot hand. Tony Romo, I'm sorry, bro, but I'll call you later. You go back to the bullpen, and I'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? I'll call you. I'll call you. Go.
Well, Patrick, hey, before we wrap the show up, let's talk about the NHL picks. All right, so we said that we would have our Stanley Cup Finals picks. So, who do you got, man?
You're not gonna go first on this one?
No. Are you still thinking? All right, cool.
How do you want to pick them? Are we just shooting for Stanley Cup and that's it?
Yeah, for now, yes, man. Because I mean, we said, because we already said our dark horses and which team might be the favorite. So that's what we did before. So
okay. So I said my dark horse was going to be
Minnesota in the West.
Minnesota in the West and Columbus in the East.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm still good with those. Man, where do I start?
The Stanley Cup picks. Stanley Cup picks.
Well, this is the problem I'm having. Tampa and Pittsburgh. I mean, how do you go against Pittsburgh, who Sidney Crosby and Malkin are playing the way they have been playing? If they stay playing the way they played in all of the playoffs. How do you go against Pittsburgh? You know what I'm saying? So I looked over this. I'm really fighting in the East if I want to go with Tampa or if I want to go with Pittsburgh. I know that Washington's probably going to throw their little piece in there, and I know the Rangers are going to throw their little piece in there. And I still feel that Florida and Montreal could probably give Tampa a little bit of a run. But I think I might roll with Pittsburgh coming out of the East.
In the West.
Oh, I thought you were going to pick your East.
Okay, I'll do that. Tampa Bay. I have Tampa Bay. To me, that was the easier conference of the two for me. That Tampa Bay, man, I just think they are they're ready now because all those young stars are locked in. Remember, they had the dispute with Steven Stamkos. He's locked in. They have all those guys locked in now, and I think they are prime for a run. And even with all that and the injuries, they were a game away from getting to the Stanley Cup final last year. They lost in 7 games to Pittsburgh. So, Pittsburgh, yeah, they're going to be tough to deal with if they're going to continue to play the way what they showed last year. Yes. Washington, just not sold on Washington. I just think they're going to get to this top conference semifinal and get knocked out again. That's just what's been happening to them.
Yeah.
So I can't trust Washington. And let's see who else. The Rangers. I still don't think the Rangers have enough offense. So,
but they'll make a playoff bid. I mean, that's kind of far enough.
They'll get in the playoffs, but Stanley Cup, nah. I'll go Tampa Bay in the East. And then I guess I'll go first in the West because I don't know. I'll tell you where my head was going. I wanted to pick Dallas. Of
course.
Their goaltending. I can't trust that goaltending. They still have the same dudes. They still have Kari Lehtinen, Anthony Niemi. I don't trust them, man. And I just think at some point you have to go with one and go with it. You can't go with the goaltender for 4 or 5 games, and in that 4th or 5th game, he's getting shelled and you pull him. You can't get a comfort level that way as a goalie. Just can't. It's hard to do. So I can't trust Dallas in their goaltender situation. So, man, the West was difficult for me. I know San Jose is good. The Kings are going to be good. You can never count out the Blackhawks, of course. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go St. Louis. This one was tough for me.
Good pick. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I sit here and went back and forth, and dude, you know who I want to pick? You know who I want to pick? I really want to pick this team.
Nashville, yeah.
Yes, I want to pick them.
That's my dark horse.
But even with the pickup of PK Subban, I don't think. I think they improved by picking him up, but I don't think they improved much. So when it gets later into the season, you're going to start watching. I mean, Nashville's probably going to shoot up in the standings, but then, as usual, they're going to start falling right back down to the bottom. I want to pick Minnesota. I want to so bad, but I know exactly what's going to happen. They have two lines, and they're going to exhaust those two lines. And when they exhaust those two lines, you're going to watch them in the third half or fourth half of the season, or the second half of the season, whatever you want to call it. At the end, when there's about 15 to 20 games left, you're going to watch Minnesota go on this huge losing streak like they have done for the past 50 years. So, with that said, I don't trust San Jose's defense, and I like St. Louis. St. Louis don't win much. They win, but they don't win by much. I mean, it's like 2-1, 3-2. I'm going with St. Louis. I think St. Louis versus Pittsburgh.
All right, and look, I can tell you this: that St. Louis pick, I'm probably 51% confident in. I'm not the most confident in that pick because the West is deep, man.
Well,
I didn't know who to pick.
Well, you look at it all the way up and down. It's like, look, Los Angeles. Dude, how many times they come from the last seed to win the Stanley Cup? Twice that I can count of. You can't trust Anaheim, but they're still going to be in. They might be in the talk. You look at Edmonton. They've made a huge moves with getting the players that they got, and then they just need to get a coach that can actually coach them. But then you look at San Jose, who, I mean, dude, played fantastic last year, especially in the playoffs. So you can't count.
Unexpected.
What's that?
No, not. And I said not too many people picked them to get to the Stanley Cup final,
Nobody
but they
picked them, dude. If anybody picked them and they said they did, they straight up lied to your face. Nobody picked San Jose, dude. Nobody. And I don't even think San Jose fans picked San Jose. Then you go into the Central, man. I'm sitting here looking at Nashville, Chicago, Dallas, Minnesota being my dark horse, and St. Louis. I mean, dude, that's 5 teams right there. That it's just. How do you go against Chicago? Chicago is hands down one of the best teams, and then their goalie, dude. Their goalie is fantastic. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 50.1% sure with St. Louis because there's pieces of me that want to go with Chicago. There's pieces of me that want to go with Minnesota. There's pieces of me that want to go with Dallas. There's a little bit of me, and I don't know why, but a little bit of me want to go with Nashville. So I mean, Western Conference is hard, but I mean, St. Louis has them by the .01 bid. I'm going with St. Louis. And then in the Eastern, it's probably one bit to see Tampa because I was fighting with those two, Pittsburgh and Tampa, the whole time. I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh because I think that Malkin and Crosby can play well if they play well together and they do what they do and be a leader and not a crybaby. They could possibly win another championship too. So, but I'm good. St. Louis versus Pittsburgh. I'm good with that.
All right. Well, Patrick, that will wrap it up. We will be back. Well, will you be back on Thursday with me?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, cool. So we'll be back on Thursday. Yeah, just let me know if it does, of course. Oh. But make sure check us out. Again, we're all over the place. We're on the social media front, so you guys know the drill. Check us out. Give us feedback if you want, and we will talk to you. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's it. So I was trying to think if there was anything else to add. So we will talk to you guys later on this week. Until then, enjoy the sports that is out there. Take care.